We got Andrew Sanchez back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Marc-Andre Barriault coming up here at UFC Ottawa on May 4th. Andrew, how are you, man?
Good, man. Good to see you again. It's been a while. It's good to be fighting again.
Yes. We'll talk
I
all
take
about that.
long breaks, man.
Well, there's been a lot that's happened with you since the last time we talked. First things first, you linked up with Danny Rube. You're with Ruby Sports and Entertainment for your management. How did all that come together?
Just kind of like connections. I was out in Vegas, and I guess I met him through Spicely, who you know pretty well, right? And that's it. Same gym, same team, and he was out there, and like I needed I don't want to say I don't know how to put this. So my last manager was great, you know. But you just evolve with the sport.
Of course, it was a better fit. I mean, I think and you look at the roster that Danny has. I mean, it makes sense, and Eric's managed by him as well. So I think that also.
Yeah, Danny's great, man. He gets the job done for sure. I can't complain.
And also, what's changed? You mentioned Vegas. You're in Montreal now, training at Tristar.
Montreal, man.
How has that been? I know you're used to the cold weather in New Jersey, but how's everything been over there?
It's fucked. The winter's fucked, anyways. But everything else about the city's great. Everybody's nice. Canadian people are very nice. Tristar is the best gym in the world, I think. The improvement that I've come across, like in such a short period of time, is like drastic. It's insane. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, like, so I see the massive improvements, and it happens so fast. And like it's because of the coaching and the people, like good people, good team. Like I'm very happy here.
And I imagine that was Eric probably saying, "Hey, look at this is what's going on here. Come out and check it out."
Yeah. I mean, I've been to TriStar in the past. I knew. I don't know. I kind of almost always thought I'd end up here. I thought, I guess it was like kind of like the pinnacle. Like I'd have to go to like kind of one of these mega super gyms eventually, and it's kind of close to the East Coast where I used to live in Jersey. And I knew people up here, and I knew Spicely, and like I've trained with a lot of the guys, so it just seemed like a good fit.
Yeah. How long have you actually been there for now?
Going on like 9 months or something like
Yeah,
that.
it has been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You mentioned sort of some of the changes. One of the things I've noticed, and I just say this objectively, like you physically, you look a lot in better shape now than I think before. If you just even look at your appearance, has there been anything different you've done in that regard with your strength and conditioning, or has it been the same?
That's crazy, man. No, it's been similar. I think I've been doing less. Man. Honestly, and more like sport specific, more like in the gym, doing MMA shit, basically, instead of like hitting the weights and stuff. Like for this camp specifically, I've been really laying off and doing a lot of running, like getting back to just running, man. Like I get up at 7 a.m. and I'm on the road, man. And I think it's better. I think I was maybe overdoing it. Like there's a fine line, especially when it comes to like weights, and I think I was overdoing it in the past. And so I've been tapering off of that. I'm doing like 3 days now, like as far as running, and then I'll do like like sparring, and then at night like mitts or something. But it's very much more like sport specific. And I think like we have a limited amount of time to grow and improve and get better. And you can't waste too much time hitting the weights, And I think in the past, like that's kind of what I turned to because I was a big fucking meathead. I don't.
Well, no, it just seems like, yeah, it seems like it's been a better fit. And I mean, we saw that in your last fight, a really great performance over Marcus Perez. We're really seeing things put together there. One of the things I wanted to ask you, when this fight was announced, I put it out there that I know Marc-Andre had trained a little bit at TriStar, and Spicely came after me right away. And he's like, look, him and Sanchez only sparred the one time. So how was that? Because you guys only trained, I know you trained very little together, you and your opponent.
We sparred a couple times a while back, and then the last time we sparred was literally it was like on a Friday, and it was like a marathon sparring session, and we did so many rounds, it was insane. And then literally the next day on Saturday, I got the call from Danny like, hey, you want to fight this guy? I'm like, what are the chances? This is freaking crazy. So yeah, I don't want to like go into too much detail. Like he's tough, man. Like, he's got a lot of heart. I know he's going to be ready to die in there. He'll do anything to win the hometown hometown kind of fight. He's fighting in Canada, first time in the UFC. So I'm taking him very seriously.
Do you feel like your experience in the UFC will help you in this fight? Because it's one thing to fight on the regional scene and get a good record, but it's another thing to actually fight, guys on a regular basis in the UFC. Do you think that will play a role in this fight?
I think it definitely could. I've been under those bright lights 5-6 times now, and each time I'm more composed and I'm more used to it. And yeah, it's a big change, kind of going from the regional scene to the UFC. And I remember getting to the finale of The Ultimate Fighter. It's like you're fighting on a little show. I mean, RFA, decent size, but then if you get to the finals of the tournament of the Ultimate Fighter, you're the main event in the UFC in Vegas in a sold out arena, and it's just crazy, man. I couldn't believe what I was walking into, and yeah, that shit matters, man. It all adds up, little pieces here and there, and the experience, the composure, just being used to it. Yeah, for sure, it's helpful.
We talked a lot about Eric Spicely in this interview. I know you're training with him. Who are some of the other bodies you've been working with for this camp, helping you get ready for this fight?
There's a bunch of fucking monsters in the room. Every time I go into sparring, I get anxiety, because I'm I could get KO, I could get hurt. We spar hard. Guys get dropped in the gym. It's no joke. But it's awesome. I'm desensitized to it now. I feel like I'm having a fight twice a week almost. So come fight time, it's whatever. But yeah, Nasrat, Nasrat, he's a 55er, but fuck, he's good, man. Rory McDonald, George. I did 4 rounds with George today, just grappling. God damn, there's a lot. Garcia's in there, in the mix.
No, that's that's a killer's row right there of all those people you just mentioned.
I got to think about it, but yeah, there's a massive room, and everyone's fighting on the Ottawa card. Elias is fighting on that card, and several guys. So there's a big energy in the room, and it's very competitive. Because when you have a fight coming up and you have a bad sparring day, I don't know about everyone else, but it ruins my whole fucking week. Because I'm this is no joke. I have a shitty sparring day, this is how I'm gonna fight, and it just bums me out. So I feel like everyone's really competitive and wants to win in the room, and this is fucking crazy, man, crazy.
Now, we talked about the cardio that you've sort of upped that a little bit or more sports specific. Does that make the weight cut a little bit easier, getting down to 85?
Yeah, it helps, and I'm also getting smarter and wiser, and I've done it so many times, and I'm always adding little tweaks here and little tweaks there to the diet and the weight cut, and it literally it's easier every single time, because you just learn you know your body so well after a certain amount of trial runs, I guess, and yeah, that's no issue. It's never been an issue for me. I've considered going to 170.
Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to.
Right. Yeah,
but I've thought about it. So, yeah.
I hear you. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
So far, this is the potential corner. Conrad, my striking coach up at Tristar, Frost, and Spice. That's what I think. So Frost is kind of, Mr. Mastermind.
And how do you see this fight playing out on May 4th? I mean, you feel like you're going to get your hand raised, otherwise why take the fight? But how do you see it unfolding?
I think it's going to be. I'll never overlook a guy ever again, man. I told you that before. I did it before and didn't end up well, so I'm taking him very seriously. I'm expecting a hard fight. 3 fucking hard rounds, man. 3 hard rounds. But of course, I feel like at the end I'm gonna have my hand raised. But I don't think it's gonna be easy, because I know Barry.
I was gonna say, what do you like doing on your downtime in Montreal? I know for Eric, he likes going to scope out sort of the best coffee shops and things like that. Just walking around the city. So it says he'll do it for hours. What do you like doing?
Fuck, man, I'm a bum. I like to lay around and drink coffee and smoke pot, play guitar. I don't know, man. I told you, in training camp, it's so much. Vent out, I think I'm getting a little old. It's like I need a good hour just to like sprawl out in the bed after training. It's crazy. But kind of similar. I like to just wander around, take it easy, whatever.
Well, nice part of living in Montreal is it's only a couple-hour drive to Ottawa. We're looking forward to it. It's coming up here May 4th. It is UFC on ESPN Plus 8. Andrew, really great catching up with you again, man. Glad to hear everything's going well. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Social media across the board at El Dirte Sanchez, the dirty one. I don't know. I just want to, thank my team and my coaches and my manager and everyone that's close to me. Everyone that's, I guess, been in my life until this point. They're kind of who made me who I am. So the list is too big to thank everybody, but they know who they are.